What if the secret to soothing your stiff joints wasn't in your medicine cabinet, but in your kitchen? If you're dealing with arthritis pain, you're not alone. Millions of people wake up every day with aching knees, swollen fingers, and joints that just won't cooperate like they used to. But here's something your doctor might not have told you. Arthritis pain isn't just about aging. It's inflammation running wild inside your body. Today, I'll show you 5 everyday foods proven by science to calm that inflammation, naturally and safely. These aren't exotic superfoods you can't pronounce. They're simple, delicious foods you can start eating today. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a practical plan to start feeling better. What is inflammation? Before we dive into the foods, let's talk about what's really happening inside your joints. When you feel that morning stiffness, that pain when you climb stairs, or that swelling in your hands, that's inflammation at work. Think of inflammation like a fire alarm in your body. When you have an injury or infection, your immune system sounds the alarm and sends help to protect you. That's good inflammation. It's supposed to be temporary, but with arthritis, that alarm never turns off. Your immune system keeps attacking your joints, day after day, month after month. The swelling becomes chronic. The cartilage starts to break down, and that's when everyday activities become painful. The good news: certain foods act like a cooling system for that internal fire. They don't just mask the pain. They help turn down the inflammation at its source. And the best part? These foods work alongside your medications, not against them. Always continue your prescribed treatments, but let's add some powerful nutrition to your toolkit. Now, I want to share something important about how this actually works. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple. Arthritis isn't just wear and tear from getting older. Scientists now know it's driven by chemicals in your body called cytokines. Think of cytokines as tiny messengers that tell your immune system to attack. In arthritis, these messengers get overactive. When cytokines flood your joints, they cause 3 main problems. First, they increase swelling and fluid buildup. That's why your joints feel puffy. Second, they trigger pain signals. That's the aching sensation you feel. Third, they actually break down cartilage, the cushioning between your bones. Here's where food becomes medicine. Certain nutrients can block these cytokine messengers. They flip the inflammatory switches from on to off. Other compounds in food protect your cartilage from breaking down, like putting a shield around your joints. And some foods work just like over-the-counter pain medications, but without the side effects on your stomach or liver. This isn't just theory. These are real mechanisms proven in peer-reviewed medical journals. And you're about to learn which foods do this best. 1. Fatty fish. Let's start with the most powerful anti-inflammatory food on the planet: fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and anchovies. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These aren't just good for your heart. They're absolutely crucial for joint health. Here's what omega-3s do. They block the production of prostaglandins and cytokines, those inflammatory chemicals I mentioned earlier. Think of omega-3s as peacekeepers that calm down your overactive immune system. But don't just take my word for it. Researchers at Harvard Medical School studied arthritis patients who ate fatty fish twice a week. After just 3 months, those patients had 20 to 30% lower joint tenderness and stiffness compared to those who didn't eat fish. 20 to 30%. That's significant relief just from adding 2 fish meals per week. Another study published in the Annals of Rheumatic Diseases found that higher omega-3 intake was associated with less cartilage loss over 4 years. That means these fatty acids don't just reduce pain. They may actually slow down joint damage. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week. A serving is about the size of your palm, roughly 3 to 4 ounces. Wild-caught salmon is excellent, but don't overlook sardines and mackerel. They're less expensive, more sustainable, and just as beneficial. Plus, they're lower in mercury. Here's an important tip. Bake, grill, or poach your fish. Don't deep fry it. High heat and frying oils can destroy those precious omega-3s and actually create inflammatory compounds. Keep it simple. Lemon, herbs, a little olive oil. If you don't eat fish, talk to your doctor about a high-quality fish oil supplement. Look for one with at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. 2. Tart cherries. Our second superfood is one you might not expect, tart cherries. These aren't the sweet cherries you snack on in summer. We're talking about Montmorency tart cherries, the kind often used in pies or sold as juice. Tart cherries are absolutely loaded with anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidant compounds that give cherries their deep red color, and they're inflammation-fighting champions. A landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition had arthritis patients drink tart cherry juice daily for 3 weeks. By the end of the study, their levels of C-reactive protein, that's a major inflammation marker your doctor might test for, dropped by 25%. That's a measurable, significant decrease in whole body inflammation. Another study with osteoarthritis patients found that those who drank tart cherry juice twice daily for 6 weeks reported less pain and better physical function. Many were able to reduce their use of pain medications. Some research even suggests that tart cherry compounds work similarly to NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, but without the stomach upset or cardiovascular risks. Look for 100% tart cherry juice, not cherry cocktail or drink, which are loaded with added sugar. The real stuff will be tart, as the name suggests. You can find it at most grocery stores or health food stores. Drink about 8 ounces once or twice daily. Many people find it helpful to drink it before bed. There's evidence it may improve sleep quality too, which is important because poor sleep worsens pain perception. If the tartness is too much, dilute it with water or mix it into a smoothie with berries and Greek yogurt. You can also eat dried tart cherries as a snack, but watch portions. They're concentrated in sugar once dried. 3. Extra virgin olive oil. Number 3 is a staple of the Mediterranean diet, one of the most anti-inflammatory eating patterns in the world. Extra virgin olive oil. This isn't just any cooking oil. Extra virgin olive oil contains a unique compound called Oleocanthal. And here's what makes it remarkable. Oleocanthal works almost exactly like ibuprofen in your body. Scientists in Greece discovered that oleocanthal suppresses the same COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes that anti-inflammatory drugs target. It literally works through the same biological pathway. But it's completely natural and comes with heart-healthy benefits instead of side effects. About 3.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil contains an amount of oleocanthal equivalent to about 10% of the ibuprofen dose recommended for adult pain relief. While that might not sound like much, when consumed daily as part of a broader anti-inflammatory diet, it adds up. The Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, has been associated with lower rates of rheumatoid arthritis and less severe symptoms in those who do have it. First, make sure you're buying true extra virgin olive oil. Look for bottles that say extra virgin, are in dark glass, and ideally list a harvest date. Cheaper, pure, or light olive oils don't have the same compounds. Use it raw whenever possible. Drizzle it over salads, steamed vegetables, whole grain bread, or already cooked dishes. This preserves the oleocanthal. You can cook with it at moderate temperatures. It's more stable than people think. But for maximum anti-inflammatory benefit, finish dishes with a fresh drizzle. Aim for 2 to 4 tablespoons daily as part of your overall fat intake. Use it in place of butter or other oils. One more tip. A peppery sensation in your throat when you taste the oil is actually a sign of high oleocanthal content. That slight burn? That's the anti-inflammatory compound at work. 4. Broccoli. Food number 4 is one you've probably been told to eat since childhood, broccoli. But here's what makes broccoli special for arthritis. It contains high levels of a compound called sulforaphane. When you chew broccoli, an enzyme is released that converts a precursor compound into active sulforaphane. This molecule is a powerful protector of your joint cartilage. Researchers at the University of East Anglia in the UK conducted a fascinating study. They found that sulforaphane blocks the enzymes that cause joint destruction in osteoarthritis. Essentially, it helps prevent your cartilage from breaking down. In laboratory studies, mice fed sulforaphane-rich diets showed significantly less cartilage damage and osteoarthritis progression than those on regular diets. While we need more human trials, the early evidence is compelling. And given how safe and nutritious broccoli is, there's no downside to adding more of it to your diet. Broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables, like Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and kale, also help regulate your immune system and reduce overall inflammation markers. Eat broccoli at least 3 to 4 times per week. A serving is about 1 to 1.5 cups. Here's the key: don't overcook it. Boiling broccoli to mush destroys the enzyme that creates sulforaphane. Steam it lightly for 3 to 4 minutes until it's bright green and still slightly crisp. You can also eat it raw in salads. For maximum sulforaphane production, chop or chew your broccoli well. The compound is created when the plant cells are broken down. Try roasting it at 400 degrees with a little olive oil, garlic, and lemon. Pair it with salmon and you've got a double anti-inflammatory powerhouse on one plate. Broccoli sprouts actually contain even more sulforaphane than mature broccoli, up to 100 times more. You can find them at health food stores or grow them at home. Add them to sandwiches, salads, or smoothies. 5. Walnuts. Our fifth and final food is one of the most convenient: walnuts. Walnuts are unique among nuts. They're one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid. While ALA isn't quite as powerful as the omega-3s in fish, your body can convert some of it into EPA and DHA, and it still has significant anti-inflammatory effects. Research shows that people who regularly eat walnuts have lower levels of inflammatory markers, including C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. But walnuts offer more than just omega-3s. They're also packed with magnesium, which is crucial for muscle and nerve relaxation. Many people with arthritis have tight, painful muscles around their affected joints, and magnesium helps ease that tension. Additionally, walnuts contain polyphenols that support gut health. And we're learning that gut health and inflammation are deeply connected. A healthy gut microbiome helps regulate your immune system and reduces inflammation throughout your body. Studies have found that eating a handful of walnuts daily helps reduce joint stiffness and inflammation-related fatigue, that exhausting tiredness that often accompanies chronic inflammation. A serving is about 1 ounce, roughly a small handful, or about 14 walnut halves. That's about 185 calories, so it's a satisfying snack that won't derail your diet. Choose raw or lightly toasted walnuts. Avoid candied walnuts, honey-roasted versions, or those coated in sugar or excessive salt. Those added ingredients can actually promote inflammation. Keep walnuts in the refrigerator or freezer. Because of their high omega-3 content, they can go rancid at room temperature. Add them to oatmeal, yogurt, or salads. Blend them into smoothies, or simply grab a handful as a mid-afternoon snack. Other nuts like almonds and pecans are healthy too, but walnuts are the champion for omega-3 content. Before we wrap up, I need to share a critical mistake I see people make all the time. They add these anti-inflammatory foods to their diet, which is great, but they keep eating foods that cause inflammation. And those inflammatory foods completely cancel out their progress. It's like bailing water out of a boat while someone else pours water back in. The biggest culprits? Refined sugars and unhealthy oils, sugary foods, sodas, pastries, candy, sweetened cereals, spike your blood sugar and trigger inflammatory chemicals. Studies show that high sugar intake increases inflammatory markers within hours. Refined vegetable oils, like soybean oil, corn oil, and canola oil, are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While you need some omega-6, the typical Western diet has way too much. An imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio promotes inflammation. These oils are everywhere: processed foods, fried foods, salad dressings, baked goods. So here's what I recommend. As you add these 5 anti-inflammatory foods, start removing or reducing the inflammatory ones. Cut back on sugar and switch to olive oil or avocado oil for cooking. You don't have to be perfect, but balance is everything. Your body will respond to the overall pattern of what you eat, not just individual foods. Let's bring this all together. You now know the 5 most powerful anti-inflammatory foods for arthritis relief. Fatty fish twice a week for omega-3s. Tart cherry juice daily for anthocyanins. Extra virgin olive oil for oleocanthal. Broccoli several times a week for sulforaphane. And a handful of walnuts daily for plant-based omega-3s and magnesium. These aren't magic pills. They work best as part of a complete approach that includes your prescribed medications, regular movement, stress management, and good sleep. But the science is clear. What you eat matters for your joints. Food can be medicine, or it can fuel the fire of inflammation. The choice is yours. Start with just 1 or 2 of these foods this week. See how you feel. Then gradually add the others. Small, consistent changes add up to real relief. Your joints deserve nourishment, not just medication. Give them the fuel they need to heal. Thank you for watching. Here's to less pain and more movement in your days ahead.